Good morning. How are you this morning? I'm Mary Winters, a gerontologist, the owner of About Senior Solutions, and you are watching Visionary Aging. We put this program together every week for you because we want you to know how empowered you can be and how important it is to make sure that you plan and you're using the best strategies, the best resources. So today, we have our caregiver question. We have Justin Fouch on with us. He is with Vimvi Real Estate. He deals with tons of very interesting trust and probate matters. And we also are going to have our Melinda on talking about something fabulous with nutrition. So let me go ahead and we'll bring on Steve and we'll talk a little bit about what his caregiver question is. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. So did we get a caregiver question?
We did. So question is, my folks are living at home. They can drive, but should not drive. And you want to know, the question is, what do we do about getting like services to them or getting them transportation to go do basic type of, things like going to the store, going to the bank, going to, those getting a haircut. How do we get transportation for them, or what services are available for them?
Okay. So I'm assuming it's just a physical thing and cognitively they're okay to be out on their own. So we set up all kinds of great things for our clients when they need transportation. And some can just use Uber. Some we have groceries delivered. Bonds and Routes both do that. I'm sure there's several other large vendors who did that as well. You can get groceries on Amazon. But with things like haircuts and needing to go certain places, we even get pharmacy delivered too. But I like a little program called Go Grandparent. It's a vetted program through, well, it's its own program, but they will use drivers from Uber and different organizations. They vet them through an extra layer. And it's a very, very easy program to use. You can follow where your parent is on this program and know where they got dropped off, when they got dropped off, when they are back. So it's really a neat way to kind of support your parents, allow them to still have the freedom to get around where they want to be. And they get to be with, the young kids as far as all the stuff that the kids are doing. So those are great. Go Grandparent. Yep, it's really, really fun. Very easy to use. So nice. I would use that for sure. Yeah. So we have Justin on with us today. It's going to be fun talking with him.
Justin's a great guy.
Yeah. So Justin is he is a real estate broker, and he deals with lots of kind of crazy trust matters. And basically what happens is you may have a family member or a professional who is in charge of selling that house. And oftentimes they're in a trust. You name your home in a trust. And we could go through all those documents later. But he gets these really interesting, crazy cases. And then we're going to talk later with Melinda. And we've got some great information from her. So we'll go ahead and jump on with Justin now. You want to stay to the end, or are you going to take off?
I'll be here.
All right. Sounds good.
Have a great show.
All right. Thanks. Hey, Justin.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm great. Yeah. So you have a company called Vimvi Real Estate.
I do. Here's my visual for today.
Oh, nice.
Vimvi, V-I-M-V-I. A lot of people can't pronounce it, but I'm going to help you. Vimvi.
All right.
Crashing for Vim and Vigor. We're just working harder than everybody else.
Oh, nice. But there's a few value propositions that you have that are a little different than what most everybody else does. So share a little bit about that with me.
Well, thanks, Mary. So to start, we sell all assets for 3%. 3% total, no hidden fees, no upcharges. It's very simple. I'll say it again. 3%, 1.5% aside. We have sold. Here's my second visual. A whole lot of properties. Typically more than anyone else that you're going to run into. So we have a lot of experience in all sorts of situations. But our big value proposition is that we're selling these things for less. In the time where the wealth divide is happening, We're doing our part to make sure that the elderly, that people that need this money, for people that are smart enough to know that there's a better way. We want to make sure that we've created something that keeps that hard-earned equity in their pockets, not in ours.
It is important. So I think the regular fee is normally like, I mean, it's not supposed to be fixed, but I think it's normally like 6%, right? Or some even charge more.
Yeah, so it starts at 6. If you're paying 6, you're getting robbed. 6 typically by any big brokerage house, Compass, Berkshire Hathaway, all the big guys, they'll go down to 5. They won't go down below that. You'll hear all the time from an agent, my broker won't allow me to go less than 5. We go straight to 3. And guess what? There's plenty of profit in it still. What we have to do, though, as business people is we have to create efficiencies. We have to train. We have to source, train, retain talent. The talent on my team, the bench on my team is deeper. It's frankly better than anywhere else. And that's how we create these efficiencies. We have more A players than we do anywhere else. But that's my job, and that's not your problem. But I am proud of what we've built. You know, I get on LinkedIn a lot, and I make posts of everything that we do, and we tally up how much we're saving. I think we've already saved our clients more than $250,000 in month 1 of this year. Yeah. Now, it would be awesome if that was in my pocket, but that's not our business model. So think about that, right? I mean, that's the type of volume that we're doing. We work only with attorneys and fiduciaries and CPAs, CFPs, sometimes too. But that's where we get our business. Now, if you're in the public and you're watching this, we'd love to help you, right? But I want to tell everyone too what we're doing. We're trusted from people that you trust, right? You hear about us via your attorney or someone that's advising you. That's how we get to the deal.
Okay. So would somebody say to their attorney, maybe somebody who put their trust together or their parents' trust together, would you say to those people, reach out to your attorney, and then in return, they go back to Vimvi?
Absolutely. So we, in the community, it's kind of like our relationship, Mary. I pride myself on the valued relationships I have with people in the community, specialists in the community. So we work with many attorneys, and it's sort of like choosing a real estate agent. You pick who you jive with, who feels right to you. But I'll give you a list of 3 people that you can go and feel out and test, and I guarantee every referral that we send you is quality, is someone that has the experience and depth of knowledge to really handle this situation.
Nice. That's really great. So tell me a little bit about one of your more recent sales then.
Okay. So, I want to go back to this, right?
Okay.
When we started, this is single space. That's a whole lot of deals. Most of those are, we found that we can specialize in this sort of messy, difficult, underserved, with expertise, excellence, and also a value proposition. Value is always in, that's number 1, but so is excellence and so is expertise. And to bring that all together, we make a big difference for our clients. So I'll tell you about a couple of recent ones. I use the example of a contract. We come in a lot of times in second position because the first position was highway robbery. So we got one where the contract was for 7% initially, 2-year term. Okay, 2-year term, and so we only do short-term contracts, 90 days. That's all we need. 2-year term, 7%. This realtor paid herself 4.5%, or more than that. I think it was 5%. Gave 2% to the other side. Which essentially, the gentleman who signed this contract was almost 90 years old. Met this individual in church. Yeah, it really, really terrible. Elder abuse, essentially, and we see this time and time again. I would like to say that that's an isolated incident. It is not. It is not. Which is why I say to attorneys, fiduciaries, anybody watching this, please get involved in the referral process. I talk to a lot of people. All I do is take meetings every day. And I hear a lot of fiduciaries and attorneys who say, I don't get involved in that. I don't get involved in that. And I understand why. If you get involved and you refer to, it's very messy. These are complex situations. that need complex representation, and you know, it's difficult. I used to say when we got into this business, we thought, oh man, listing a house is very easy. It's anything but that in the space that we are in.
Yeah.
It's anything but easy in the space that we function in. In fact, it's very difficult. It's emotionally difficult. It's emotionally trying.
Yeah, it is. I think they say that, like, aside from like weddings and death, I think selling and buying home is one of the most stressful things in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we deal with a lot of people that are out of state where the decedent is here. So keeping that line of communication elsewhere, making them feel cared for as if they were here, is a whole nother skill set, a whole nother thing. Dealing with hoarder houses, the elderly who haven't been checked on for years.
Yeah.
These are things that we see all the time. We also sell beautiful things. I'd like to say we also sell very high-end, beautiful things, $5 million houses, $7 million houses, $9 million houses. We've done all of that. I've competed against the $1 million listing folks and won twice, which has been fun as the new kid on the block. You know, I want to give another example of one that we're doing. Here's one. I just got one where I came to the door, I got keys, the deal was signed, and there was corner tape everywhere, which we had never done.
Quarantine signs? Is that what you said?
Corner tape. So someone had just
corner tape. Oh, even better. Okay.
Which, by the way, is something that happens all the time, right?
Sure. People want to die at home, right?
Right, exactly. But there's a whole different set of rules when someone dies in the home about disclosure, about also, can you enter the home when it's been sealed? When can you? Probate, contested versus uncontested, there's all sorts of rules. And if you don't know those rules and you aren't intricately involved in this type of sale from day to day, frankly, it's a disservice to the estate, to the probate, to the family members involved. So there you go.
Yeah, no, it's staying in your corner too and understanding what you know. I think it's really important to make sure that we're only doing. It's important to learn, but I think it shouldn't be at the cost of someone else.
I agree with that. And I think, listen, there's a lot of excellent realtors out there. There's a lot of people that do a great job. There are a lot of people in this town that I respect.
Yes.
There are a whole bunch that terrify me. And in real estate, they play heavily on the emotional piece. Well, I'm the specialist in this area. I've been around for. That doesn't mean, listen, if you sell 2 homes a year, which is the average in the San Gabriel Valley, by the way, sell 2 homes a year for 10 years, that hardly qualifies you as an expert at very much of anything. Because I will tell you, from deal to deal, from opportunity to opportunity, these are so different. You know, they're like sort of toxic snowflakes in you know, each one is unique and beautiful, but has its own.
Sure.
Poison somewhere in the deal, right?
Yeah.
And it takes skill and business acumen to keep all of these plates spinning in the air to get the result that you want for the estate.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, it's just like with our clients, I would never imagine putting just a little mold on something and saying, this is, you know, we have processes, but we don't treat everyone in the same process or the same resources, or they don't have the same plan as an outcome.
Yeah, and I think that's important. We talked about efficiencies, and I think being process-driven. You know, I listen to the way that agents used to say how to interview your agent. I think it's all wrong. I think a lot of it is you need to ask, what are your processes? How did you come to these numbers? What is your experience before this business? How long have you been in this business? Have you ever managed people before? Who's on your team? This sort of stuff matters. Yeah. You know, if you have one person trying to handle all of this, it's extremely difficult. And we have a team. We like to say we have the right people in the right seats. And that's really what we're all about.
Nice. Yeah, nice. You know, it's kind of interesting. I've watched these shows like Selling Sunset, and they're kind of fun. I have to say, they're like kind of like the housewife shows, and you just have to kind of watch and what's going to happen next. But when they flash up there how much the house is selling for and how much they're earning, it just blows my mind. And I mean, you're talking about somebody who is, even like you had a probate where a parent passed away and had a minor child, and the house is worth $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, $30,000 then that you're putting back into to care for that child. I mean,
right.
And
yes. And I think that's where, this is not funny money. And it's important to realize that this is not monopoly money. At this point in a probate or a trust sale, these kids are counting on this stuff. These relatives are counting on this money to advance their lives, to pay off debt, to care for themselves. This is not a joke.
Well, yeah, and to care for themselves. I have, especially if somebody is selling the house to care for an elder loved one. I mean, we know it's expensive.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing that I want to bring in at the end is that we're passionate about this business. So I talk like this all the time. It's a lot for a lot of people, but I do think that we have created a system that provides, at the vast majority of the time, a disservice to the folks that need the help the most.
Right.
Here to do our part, just our part, to right that wrong and provide an option for the people that need it. And I think from there, I'd like to say to any attorney or any fiduciary or anyone listening, listen, I'm a very good lunch date. I love to buy lunch. I'll bring you one of my favorite books, and we can talk. You can get to know me. I'd love to talk about our business and how it could impact you. The name of the company is Vimvi, V-I-M-V-I.
So how do people actually get a hold of you? What's your number?
You know what? Call me on my cell. I know everyone thinks that I'm crazy, but call me on my cell. 310-779-5868. 310-779-5868. I work really good by text. I'm in meetings all day long, every day. I work 24 hours a day. But you can text me anytime. You can text me anytime, and I'll always get back to you. I think that's the. Can I say one more thing? Do we have enough time?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I want to get back to realtors. When I got in this business, we did our own market research, and I interviewed probably like 100 agents. And I talked to them. I said, "So what makes you special? How do you build your business?" And they would always say, "Well, I'm available anytime." And I thought, that's it? You're available anytime? That's not a business proposition, right? I want to build, and what that does is I want to build concrete processes. I want to be institutional in my nature so that we provide so much value and communication and cradling of the client that they don't ever need to call me.
Yeah.
We are so proactive in how we deal with people that there's never a panic moment, that they don't need to call me on the weekend or the evening.
Oh, they're just going to call and hang out with you.
They do. They call me all the time, but that's okay. Are mostly positive. My last point is attorneys, fiduciaries, CFPs. These matters can be complex. So we are business folks. That's our background. So we had to sell to a gamut of people. And had to be chameleons in every sales opportunity. That's what we specialize in. That's what we train for. When you have 5 brothers and sisters, and they're all boring, and they haven't talked, and 2 of the people tried to switch the estate at the last minute, these are the places where we really shine. We get everyone to sort of come together. We figure out how to give different people what they need in order to progress through this sale. And at the end of the day, here's what we want to do. All we want to do is make our referral sources proud. We want to make sure that clients go back to them and say, "Hey, Vimvi was a great referral. I appreciate working with Justin. Keep up the good work."
So one last time before you take off, what is your phone number?
So 310-779-5868. That will ring this cell phone, and I'll talk to you personally. So CFPs, fiduciaries, attorneys, call me. I'll bring a book. I'll buy you lunch. I'd love to tell you about more of these good, juicy deals, and we can do some case studies together, and hopefully I can earn some business from you.
Fantastic. Sounds great. All right. Thanks for everything. All right.
Mary, thanks for the opportunity.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. That is incredible. That's a lot of work. I know he works very hard, and I know he's not up 24 hours, but I know he's up quite a bit. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump in with our Melinda. Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Yeah.
Good. That was a great show.
Yeah, no, he's very knowledgeable. And I think the great thing is that when you have someone who is willing to pay themselves less, offer more, and get into these crazy situations, I mean, I think it's very commendable on top of the fact that it's important that people have that money back in their pockets too. And I didn't even realize that people were abusing seniors with some of their listing agreements just because they thought they can get away with it. That's terrible, terrible. So I'm glad there are people like that. I know there are other realtors that are very sophisticated and would take advantage of anybody, but it's awful to hear those stories. And I'm glad there are people that are fighting it. So fantastic. So anyway. So tell me what's going on. What are we going to talk about today?
So I think we were going to talk about three tips on how we may be able to stay in our homes longer.
Yeah, no, that's really important. Yeah.
So I put 3 tips together. The first one being taking care of your body, muscle strength and balance so that you're able to move around your home safely. So the muscle strength is very important with that. Our balance is, muscle and the flexibility in our muscles, tendons, and ligaments really make up our balance. And when we think about moving around our homes in our later years, we really need to make sure that we have great balance and we have the muscle strength to, especially in our thigh muscles and our leg muscles, to move around.
Yes. Yeah.
With that, the second tip would be installing the safety bars and no skid surfaces and the things that could help assist us. Help assist us with balance, with the inevitable effects of aging. So making your home being able to support when your balance is affected. Balance is affected by so many things: muscle strength and flexibility of muscles, tendons, and ligaments. But it's also our balance is affected by our hair follicles. So the hair on our head tells us where we are spatially.
Oh, yes. I would agree with that.
As we lose our hair, that affects our balance. So there's things that as far as balance that aren't preventable, that we can't just work on in the fitness studio or with our exercises. And so having the home be fitted in a way that can accommodate for that loss is good. And then the third tip is removing any obstacles in the home. So that might mean taking up some rugs or area carpets that would be easily, that you could easily trip over, or installing some lighting so that the lighting isn't dim, you can see more easily, and just make sure that you can get around easily.
Yes, trip hazards. So we get rid of the trip hazards. We make sure that we're set up in the house to age successfully and age in place, as we say in the biz. And also to maintain those muscles. I like to tell my clients, and I have this one who just was so dear, I just adored him. I said, you need to get up out of your chair and see if you can not use your hands.
Yes.
Think about it. I mean, we all kind of like push ourselves up with our arms a little bit too. It's like, see how well you can hold your hands out and get up out of your chair and balance that way. And if you think you're going to have a problem, have somebody in front of you holding your hands. But that's
Yeah.
what you want ultimately, is to be able to do kind of that squat out of the chair, the up squat. I don't know if you call
Yeah,
it that.
you nailed it, Mary. And the more you are, I guess the better, the more easily you can get off the floor without using a countertop, a chair, or even your hands. That's like a test of longevity. And certainly if you're able to get off the floor unassisted by yourself, you're going to be able to stay in your home for longer. So that's a great benchmark. And it's something that when our older clients come to the strength shop, we are always trying to make it easier for them to get up and off the floor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. We're going to bring Steve back in, and maybe he can tell us. Maybe he can tell us what day of the week it is, what kind of crazy day of the week it is.
What do we have, Steve?
Oh,
we can't hear him.
So I'm muted him. I'm mute. I've got the power. Okay, so you're unmuted now.
And I don't have what day it is, but I could check real quick.
Yeah, check real quick.
We can make up a day.
I know it's probably like, I don't know, we have the craziest days like pickle day, or I don't know, but you can always call the office and touch base, get the perk from Ginny for free. We'll send it out to you, and has a whole calendar of crazy fun things and puns and jokes and word search puzzles, and totally free. So if you want to call the office at 626-359-0108 and get that, she will take it up. She will send it out to you via email for free. So what are you seeing there?
We missed a good one yesterday. Yesterday was National Golden Retriever Day.
Oh, I like that day.
But what is today?
I'm still looking. Powers of the internet.
The national.
You need faster internet service. That's what I think you need.
It's National Bubblegum Day.
Oh, okay, I can go for that one. So let's get some bubbles going.
And National Wear Red Day. So wear red.
Oh, that's probably for heart. I think it's Heart Month, right? So that's right. It's probably Heart Month. So heart awareness and taking care of our hearts. So, all right, my friends, have a great weekend.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Good show.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.